How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Blackpool, taking place tomorrow at the City Ground in the Emirates FA Cup. The Emirates FA Cup, or the FA Cup, is one of my favourite competitions. Actually, I think it's my favourite cup competition going. I love it. I really, really love it. I love the FA Cup third round and things like that, seeing some of the smaller clubs, getting a tie against a team a few leagues above them, getting themselves on Match of the Day, getting themselves on BBC and stuff like that. It's a great competition, and I love that it's like the most long-running cup competition there is, and stuff like that. It's just a brilliant competition. It's a real great kind of advertisement for what the English game is about. A lot of other countries, their lower league systems are a lot worse than ours. You look at Serie D, or you look at the fourth Bundesliga, whatever it's called, or League Quatre, if that's what it's called in France. I don't know. But then they're nowhere near the level. They're nowhere near the level in terms of performance, ability, supporter base. You look at some of these smaller clubs, in what country, when you had last season, Sheffield Wednesday, my apologies, in the League One, what other countries having a club with a stadium at their size, getting the average attendance they were getting 30,000. In some games they were getting a full packed out ground of about 30,000 fans in the third division. It really just shows how strong the English football pyramid is. And I love the FA Cup. I love seeing some of the lower league sides getting a decent draw in the third round and making a bit of money for themselves, getting their name about, some of the players, getting noticed and having a bit of a chance to make a name for themselves. It's brilliant. I love the FA Cup. I know a few friends who are Lincoln fans, I say I know a few friends. There's one guy who definitely is my friend, and a few people I know who do support Lincoln as well. But there was one guy who follows football quite a lot. He's been to every football league ground. I think on Friday he ticked off the Brentford Community Stadium. I think that might be one of the only ones he hadn't done. But he's a big Lincoln fan. He took me to a few games, one thing and another. And I was keeping my eye out a lot on the Lincoln City Cup run that they had when they were in the National League under the Cowleys. And it was a massive, massive thing for the club. It helped them to get into League One, really. It helped them to get a new facility in terms of training and things like that based on the prize money and stuff. It's a huge competition and I absolutely love it. And I'd love to see Forest take it seriously. I know we're a Premier League side and we're not one of these lower league sides who are looking on for a fairy tale cup run, but I'd love to see us take it seriously and take it deep into the tournament. Look at what happened with Cooper in the first season that he had with us, where we went to the quarterfinals and lost against Liverpool at home. That was magic. We beat the likes of Leicester. I was absolutely over the moon in that game. I was there, with an absolute thrashing in that one. Third round, we beat Arsenal, we beat Huddersfield on there. The FA Cup is a brilliant competition, and I'd love to see Nuno take it seriously. I know he had a good run with Wolves one year, where he got them to the semi-finals, where they lost against Watford, but that was massive for them. One of the best games that they had in his tenure was a 2-1 win in the quarterfinals against United. So hopefully he takes it seriously. Hopefully he looks at it as an opportunity to get the fans on board even more, an opportunity to build on something, bring positivity to the club. I'd love it. I'd absolutely love to see us go deep in this competition once again. And it kind of follows a bit of a pattern. When Cooper came in, first season we got deep in the FA Cup. Last season we got deep in the League Cup. Hopefully this season we go deep in the FA Cup again. I love this competition. I think it's a fantastic competition. And I'd love to see us go deep in it. Blackpool are the team that we're playing against. Last season they did knock us out in this round, but it was at Bloomfield Road at their stadium. It was, I think it was 4-1. A really just awful day. An awful day. One that I don't want to remember. That was when they were in the Championship. They're in League One now. But that was a day I don't want to remember. Another day involving Blackpool that I'd rather forget was that playoff game, the playoff semi-final. We beat them in the away leg at their ground. Then they came to City Ground. I believe I was there I think that was the one I was there for, because I know I was there for either the Swansea one or for the Blackpool one. I think it was Blackpool because I was slightly older then, so I would have been able to have gone to a night game, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. I remember it. It was like nothing I've ever witnessed before. Like, you could literally hear the vibration of the fans' voices like hitting each other. It was immense. And then DJ Campbell caused us immense pain, and we didn't get promoted. They did, but anyway. Blackpool, look at their recent form. They're a decent League One side. I spoke about Lincoln City earlier on. Their last game that they played was Blackpool Lincoln. It was 2-0 to Blackpool. So their last game was a win. I think in their last 5, I remember looking, I think it was 2 wins and 3 losses. I believe that's the case. Their last game in the Emirates FA Cup was a 3-0 win against Forest Green. Forest Green did take them to a replay in that one, because when the draw was done, it was either Blackpool or Forest Green to play us. It was Blackpool that were victorious in the replay. So they're the team that are playing against us. In terms of this game, then, I expect us to win, but I expect us to win the last one. So, you never know. But I believe we're going to win this one. I do. I feel confident we're going to get the win in that one. I think Blackpool, being a League One side now, there is that little bit more of a gap. I feel like Nuno won't take it too lightly. I feel like there's an opportunity for some of the first teamers to keep going, keep the momentum going, but also for some of those players that are in and around the first team, maybe those that are coming off the bench, or those who start one and on the bench for 2 kind of thing. It's a chance for them to shine, maybe. I've seen a few starting 11s that people want to see going into this game. Some line up, seeing the likes of Espero Song and a couple of the more academy players coming in, and some of them are a bit more full strength. For me, I want to try and give it a bit 50-50, I think some of the academy players, I think it's a bit too, not too early, but I don't think that Blackpool's maybe the right chance to do this. I feel like if we were going to do it, we might, like we played Grimsby last season in the Carabao Cup. We played a couple of youngsters in that one, and that made sense. They're a bit more lower down, and Blackpool kept beat us last season, so we always got to have that in the back of our minds. For me, a starting 11 would be, and it's an interesting one. Obviously, all of our African players have gone now. I know Taiwo didn't get named in the squad as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but I do remember seeing a list of players that were going to be selected for different countries at the African Cup of Nations. And I know Taiwo's name wasn't on it. So I don't know if that was wrong, and he was. I don't know. But obviously, he's not 100% fit as it is. So that might have played a part into why that's the case. But all of the African players, I don't think we've got... Well, no, we haven't got any Asian players. Obviously, we have Wang Yu Zhou, who's out on loan, but that wouldn't affect our squad at the moment because obviously he's out on loan. But yeah, for me, then the goalkeeper position is an interesting one. Obviously, we've got a handful of goalkeepers now. We've got Horvath, Hennessy, Vlachodimos, and Turner. I don't think it'll be Hennessy, because I feel like his kind of time is up now. He's kind of not expecting to play. He knows there's 3 goalkeepers ahead of him. We do have George Shelvey as well. I don't know kind of what his was. I don't know if he's even out on loan. I'm not too sure on that. I feel like Horvath might have a chance, given that it's Blackpool, but for me, I'd go with Vlachodimos. I think it's an important chance to give him a game under Nuno. I think Turner has done... He got a lot of flack against United, and rightly so. That was a mistake for the goal. His distribution is horrendous, but he did make some big saves in that one. So at the minute, he's probably in Nuno's reckoning as the main guy, but then obviously you've got Vlachodimos, who hasn't played yet under Nuno, and I feel like it's a good chance to give him an opportunity to impress Nuno, see what he can do in a game like this. I think it makes sense. Defence, for me, I'd love to see Neko and Toff as wing-backs. Obviously, I know Ola Aina and Montiel have been the preferred choice. Ola Aina now has gone to the African Cup of Nations. Montiel, I think he's been brilliant, but I'd love to see those two in the fullback position. Maybe Tavares, if he hasn't been his loan returned yet. I know that Andre Santos had his loan returned, so it'll be interesting to see whether that happens with Tavares. But I think I'd go with those two guys as the fullbacks for me. Centre halves, we've obviously got no Niakate and no Bolly. I'd still probably go with Murillo unless he needs a break. I just think in a game like this, when we're going to have a lot of the ball, be a lot more dominant side, he could really get on the ball and have a good time, enjoy himself. The other centre half, I mean, you've got Worrell, I love Joe Worrell, and I know he's done things that have annoyed the fan base and things, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so I don't know too much. But I know he's not a popular fit with a lot of the fans, and I think a lot of the fans will be unhappy to see him. And I know there are talks about him leaving. Scott McKenna also talks about him leaving. I'm just trying to think who else we've got in centre back. My mind we've got Felipe. If Felipe's fit, let's chuck him in there alongside Murillo, the Brazilian connection. I'd love to see that if he's fit. If he's not, then it'll probably be one of Worrell or McKenna, whoever is chosen. I don't mind too much. Midfield, then I assume it will be the 4-2-3-1. Midfield 2. I don't particularly mind too much. Obviously, there's no Sangare because he's gone to Africa, as you know. Let me try and think who could get. Danilo could get in there. Mangala. I'm not particularly too fussed who plays there. Yates. I think Yates actually played in the last game. I think Yates scored the only goal for us in that last time we played them. To be honest with you, I don't really mind. So I'm not really going to specify too much on the midfield too. Yeah. I think there's a break after this one anyway, so fitness doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, I don't really mind. Kouyaté, obviously, he's gone as well. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Danilo and probably go with Dominguez and Danilo in the midfield too. Why not? And a little bit of something in there. On the wings then, you've got Alanga, you've got Hudson-Odoi. I think they're mostly our wingers, really, because you look at the way Cooper played, and for a lot of his tenure, he did like a 5 at the back. But there was a moment where he played sort of a 4 with a diamond in the midfield, and he didn't really have a lot of wide men at the club, so we haven't really got a lot to choose from. I'd probably look at bringing in a wide man in the January transfer window if we could. So it might have to be Alanga and Hudson-Odoi on the wings, but maybe he might shove like an Aguilar out wide or a Gibbs White out wide. I don't know. Origi even played out wide at one point in the first game for a little bit before the sending off. So, yeah, I'd go with Elanga and Hudson-Odoi. In behind, I'd probably go with... I mean, I know Brendan Aguilar is someone that a lot of people are saying they want to see. I think Gibbs White could absolutely flourish in a game like this. It could absolutely flourish in a game like this. If you're not going to play Gibbs White out wide, I'd probably play it in behind. If you're going to play Gibbs White out wide, I'd put Aguilar in there. But for me, I don't really mind too much. And then up front, you could go for a youngster. You could give them an opportunity. But I feel like it will be Chris Wood or Origi for me up there. But like I say, that's a rough idea. I'm not sat here being like, I really want to see this player play because of this reason. If you want to play some of the youngsters, give them. But maybe he might shove like an Aguilar out wide or a Gibbs White out wide. I don't know. Origi even played out wide at one point in the first game for a little bit before the sending off. So, yeah, I'd go with Elanga and Hudson-Odoi. In behind, I'd probably go with... I mean, I know Brendan Aguilar is someone that a lot of people are saying they want to see. I think Gibbs White could absolutely flourish in a game like this. It could absolutely flourish in a game like this. If you're not going to play Gibbs White out wide, I'd probably play it in behind. If you're going to play Gibbs White out wide, I'd put Aguilar in there. But for me, I don't really mind too much. And then up front, you could go for a youngster. You could give them an opportunity. But I feel like it will be Chris Wood or Origi for me up there. But like I say, that's a rough idea. I'm not sat here being like, I really want to see this player play because of this reason. If you want to play some of the youngsters, give them a chance, go for it. If you want to play some of the fringe players, be my guest, absolutely. But as long as we get the victory, that's all that really matters to me. Like I say, that's just a rough idea of what I would like the team to be. I'm not exactly like hell-bent on you playing. Vlachodimos is the one I kind of want to see what Nuno thinks of him. But in terms of the other positions, I don't really mind too much as long as they're of the ability and they can come in and do well and give Nuno a selection headache, really. I would have probably put in maybe someone like Kouyaté and gone with an Aguilar, an experience and a youngster, but obviously Kouyaté is not available kind of thing, so we've got to think about that. But yeah, I think we've got enough in our team to definitely get the 3 points. What are we on about? To get the win, to get through to the fourth round. We should be, given the fact we're Premier League and we're playing against the League One side. I don't want to disrespect Blackpool. They're a good side. They've got a good fan base. I remember when they were in the Championship last year, they liked to make a noise. Their fans, they really did. A lot of the like opposition fans were really complimenting the way that their fans were going last season, and they're a good side in League One. They've got some good players. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's like Lowry, something like that. I know that he's been doing really well, chipping in with a few goals for them. Marvin Ekpiteta, if he's still there, I remember his name. I was listening to the game last year in the FA Cup, and his name just kept coming up and up and up. Ekpiteta on the ball, dispossessed by Ekpiteta, towering header from Ekpiteta. Bloke, he's like at the game of his career. So they've got some handy players to look out for. I know what's his name, Karamoko Dembele. I think he's gone to Blackburn. What am I on about? I'm so sorry, Blackpool. So it'd be interesting to sort of see whether he's featuring or anything like that. But I'm confident in Forest's ability. I can see us winning this one. I can see 3-1. I could see 3-1. But Blackpool, we've got to be careful. We've got to be on it because they're going to be up for this game. They really are. But I do feel confident we can go out there and get all get. Well, I don't want to say all 3 points. What am I absolute waffling about? To get the win, get the victory, to be in the hat for the fourth round of the FA Cup. But yeah, like I say, with the start 11, it was just a rough idea. I'm not kind of too not too like set in my ways on who I want to play. But if we can get a good starting 11 together with a mixture of players who are in the squad to keep things going, and a mixture of players who are wanting to put their name in the shop window, not the shop window, but the name in Nuno's mind, then that would be really good to see. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, smash the like button. Sorry if I've waffled. I've realised I've gone on for a lot longer than I usually go on for, so I apologise for that. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, like I say, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new around here. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the game, who you want to see start, and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and